Hi everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to my channel, Backcountry Stitcher. Thanks so much for being here with me today. I will be honest with all of you, I have started this video several times and had to restart it because I feel like today's a disaster. I don't know, maybe it's because it's Christmas Eve or what. I've been on the struggle bus today. So I did make sure, because it's been kind of a struggle. Actually, one of the things, the day started out really awesome. You may notice if you've been watching this channel that I'm wearing different glasses. That is because I cannot find my regular glasses. These are an old pair. I don't know what I did with them. They were on my face before I got into bed. I took them off of my face to get into bed and now they have disappeared. So my husband and I have torn the place apart. We can't find them. At this point, I'm just assuming my dog ate them. I'm not really sure. So that's how my day's been going. How's your day going? Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you for checking me out and all of you, those returning, and just really appreciate it and really like to talk to you guys in the comments. So if you are new and if you are returning, please be sure to leave me a comment. Definitely click the like, subscribe, all the YouTubey things if you enjoy what you're seeing. And yeah, let's get going. So I mentioned it's Christmas Eve. I hope that for all those who are celebrating, that you are having a wonderful holiday. There's a lot of different holidays around this time of year. So if you're not celebrating Christmas and you're celebrating another holiday, happy holidays to you. Tonight is the 7th night of Hanukkah. We have been lighting the candles and saying the prayers and everything. Also, if you're interested, I just want to make sure I mention this. If you're interested in learning more about Hanukkah, definitely check out Carla's channel, Carla Being Crafty. She's been doing Flossnica, where she talks about all the different stuff with Hanukkah and the different things that we do and lighting the candles and the menorahs and the dreidels and all of the Hanukkah traditions, and tells about the Hanukkah story. So if you're celebrating Hanukkah, I hope you're having a wonderful holiday filled with lights. And yeah, so the other thing I do want to mention is I know that much of the country right now is being bombarded by a nasty winter storm. We here in Utah are pretty protected from that northern air coming down. I heard on the radio it has something to do with the Rockies blocking it. So like Wyoming, which is right next to us, was bombarded with cold air and snow. It was a disaster, but we've been pretty well protected, so we've been doing okay. I hope that if you're involved in this storm or you're in unseasonably cold weather, that you are safe, staying warm, and still able to enjoy whatever holiday you are celebrating right now. So thinking about all of you out in the Midwest and back east. So today I have an FFO. I have an FFO. I have a sort of FFO. I just want some opinion on. And then I have a finish. And I also have 5 whips that I've been working on. It's been, I think, 3 weeks since my last video. So I have been relatively busy. I also was traveling, so I got a lot of travel stitching done. I do have some haul, mostly kits that I decided to purchase for some reason, and a little bit about my plans. And I am going to do a whip parade, but I'll tell you about that when I get more towards the end. I am also going to talk about, if you're interested in hanging out for a little bit longer, I'm going to talk about Crater Lake and give you a little bit of info on that park and things to see and do there. There is more than a lake there, but it is mostly the lake. So, all right, well, let's get into it. So I have an FFO. And, oh, I just noticed, okay, there we go. There was a piece of fuzz on it. So I finished a little while back my Amaryllis in Bloom, which was a Dimensions kit. I think it was copyrighted in 2002. It is out of print, unfortunately. So, but you can find it on eBay. That's where I found mine. And I know one of my friends found, I think she found one on eBay as well. So here is my Amaryllis in Bloom. And I'm going to try to tilt that. I'm sorry about the glare. Let me pull it back a little bit. There we go. You can see my camera in there. My ring light actually decided to die, so that was another fun thing this morning. So that's why the lighting's a little different too. But this is Amaryllis in Bloom, and I love this piece. I love it. It came out so pretty. So what I did here is that if you've been following me for a little while, you may know this story. So the original pattern called for this silver cording all around the plant. I decided to not do that because I didn't want to. It looked like it was more trouble than it was going to be worth for me. So what I did instead was I actually found this frame that has like actually kind of a similar pattern to what that silver cording was going to look like. And I got that framed. So sorry about the reflection of the phone in there. And just the reflection, and I wonder if I bring it over here. No, still terrible. There, it's a little better. There we go. So yeah, so that's my Amaryllis in Bloom. Love it. I think this is gonna go up in our kitchen somewhere. I don't know why it feels like a kitchen breakfast nook type piece, I think. Not sure. I'll put it up wherever my husband lets me, honestly. I think he's kind of getting sick of all the cross-stitch pieces hanging around our house. So that was Amaryllis in Bloom. Now my sort of FFO. So I did Dreaming Miss Claus by Barbara Anna Designs, and I finished the piece and then I ordered a custom frame, but I apparently am not good at measuring because it does fit, but it is very, very tight. So I have put it in the frame, but I haven't trimmed the fabric or anything because I'm still not sure how I feel about it. I may have to get a bigger frame. I love the frame, but I'm not sure. So you guys tell me what you think about this. I think it might be okay. And I framed this myself. So I got this from Custom Frame Solutions, and really great company to work with. They actually picked up, I kind of put a measurement in wrong and they picked it up and they sent me a message. They texted me and they were like, hey, you know, you put this in, but did you really mean this? Which one do you want? And I was like, oh, this is what I want. Thanks for catching that. So they were really great to work with. And the frame quality is really nice too. I think this works. It's a little tight over here. But I mean, for me, framing it for my first, it's like custom frame order that I did myself. I don't know. I don't think it's too bad. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is right now. And then if it really bothers me down the road, maybe I'll reframe it. But I think for right now, I'm going to leave it. I've decided. I think seeing it on camera actually helps. So yeah, that's Dreaming Miss Claus. Not sure where she's going to go yet. Probably in my office up here. I'm not sure my husband's the biggest fan of her. So yeah. And then I have a finished, it's not fully finished, but I found these little, so I mentioned before, it's a little hard to find. There are Hanukkah patterns out there, but a lot of them are like menorahs and they say like shalom and stuff like that, which is great. Like they're beautiful, love them, no problem with them. But and I have stitched them, but every now and then it's nice to find something different. And so I found this, friend of mine actually found these, and they're like these little kitty Hanukkah things. So this is Dreidel. They don't have names, so I've just been calling this one, whoops, excuse me, Dreidel Kitty. And there he is. So it's a kitty playing with a dreidel. And don't mind the hoop marks, I just haven't had a chance to iron it yet. So this is stitched on a 28 count Jobelin. This was actually my very first time stitching on Jobelin. It was also my first time stitching on 28 count. It's stitched 28 count 1/1. So they're teeny tiny stitches in there. And I just love it. I think it came out so dainty and cute with his little whiskers. Really cute. So there's actually a series of these. There's like a cat with a menorah. There's a cat in a cup. There's a cat with like the little jelly donuts that we eat. So there's a lot of these, and I want to stitch all of them because you know, we don't get a Christmas tree, which is fine. Like, you know, I don't celebrate Christmas, so why would I have a Christmas tree? But I like decorating for the holidays. So I think I'd like to get like one of those like trees that's not like a fir tree, but like it's just branches or something, and have little like Hanukkah ornaments on it, and do that someday. We'll see if that ever comes to fruition, but I'm going to put this in a hoop and kind of basically turn it into a Hanukkah ornament is my plan. It's pretty small. It's only like about 3 inches or so. So, I mean, it's pretty small. So I'm going to hoop this and make it into a little Hanukkah ornament. But this was a lot of fun to stitch. I have found I actually really like stitching 28 count 1/1. I'm considering doing a full coverage like that, but we'll see. So on to my whips. So this one is the Swans. This is Cottage Garden Samplings, A Year in the Woods. You guys have probably all seen this. This is number 2, but this is number 2, but this is the 3rd one I've been working on. And this one has kind of actually turned into a travel stitching piece. It's just, for whatever reason, it's just really easy to stitch while I'm traveling. And this is being stitched on 32 count linen in the color Storm. I think it's Storm. Yeah, it's definitely Storm by Picture This Plus. And I'll pop in a comparison photo, but here we are today. So I think, and we'll see what the comparison photo shows, because I honestly can't remember. It's been like 3 weeks since I last showed you, but I think I filled in some more on the feathers. And then I added those 2 snowflakes. I added this tree, and then I added some of the ice. It's like supposed to be ice on a lake that they're sitting on, or a pond, or whatever you want to call it. So I did fill more, I did get more done. It's coming out really nice. Like, I'm almost done with the swans, which means I just really have the background, but the background is definitely more dense than the other backgrounds that I've done on these, because it has, I mean, it's got a bunch of trees and snowflakes and stuff, but then it also has these pine cones and branches up here, so that's a little bit more dense than the fox or the raccoon that I've done. So I'm still a ways away from it, but with my new travel job, I think I'm going to get quite a bit of work done on this in the next couple of months. I have teaching gigs every couple of weeks actually coming up. I think I have like 6 or 7 scheduled. So I should be getting quite a bit done on that. The next whip, this is actually, so my technicians finally had it with me at work, and they were like, because I have such a great team. We're so efficient that I'm able to get my paperwork done. I'm able to get, you know, all of my communications done. I'm able to get my medical director stuff done, because they're just taking care of so much, like in the dental suite, and taking care of, you know, just so much. They're just so efficient that they finally were like, I would just go in and like, not meaning to bother them, but apparently I was getting, I don't think bored's the right word, but I was having a little bit of extra time. So they were like, you need to bring some of your stitching into work so that you can stitch in your downtime and not bother us. And I was like, okay. So I I've been working on, let me see if I have the picture. This is Under the Sea. And this is by Teresa Kogut. Yep, Under the Sea. And this was one of the exclusive Stitch West patterns, so it's not available yet. I'm not sure. I think she's going to make it available I'm just not sure exactly when. So I'm stitching this. This is not my usual style, but I'm stitching, because we got this at Stitch West, I'm stitching this with a bunch of my friends, and we're actually gonna all stitch certain motifs on each other's, it's like a swap on each other's piece. So I'm gonna be stitching the seahorse on everyone's piece. And we're gonna do this when we all get together at Stitch Shenanigans in April. So here is where I am at today. Let me put something behind this. This is on 32 count linen. I'm not sure of the color because this is what they gave us. And again, hoop marks, sorry. So I think the last time I showed this, I had finished the mermaid. Pretty confident that's the case. Obviously I started working on the whale. This thing's a beast in the literal and figurative sense. I outlined most of the body. These kind of weird area here, these are gonna be, that's gonna be seaweed that's gonna come in. And I outlined the body and I've just been filling it in. I worked on it on the plane, and that's what I've been working on at work, is just filling in the whale. So it's really nice because I can just like, you know, work on it for like 5 minutes, and then they call me and I'm like, all right, put it down and work on it for another 5 minutes or whatever. So, but yeah, that's where we're at with Under the Sea. A couple of the little fishies in, and the whale. That whale, it doesn't look that bad, like on the mock-up or on the model stitch, but if I never see 926, floss number 926 after this, I'll be okay. It's a lot of 926 in this piece. So yeah. Next one I have is, oh, I forgot to show this one. So Disintegration. I have been working really hard on this. So I am currently, Disintegration is my Heaven and Earth design piece. And I am currently at 9.4 something, I think, %. And my goal is to get to 10% by the end of the year. So here we are with Disintegration. So I put quite a bit in, I think, since the last time you guys saw. And actually, this is a little exciting, is right here, this point is halfway across the piece. So that's exciting. I mean, that's like kind of an exciting milestone. I mean, it's not, obviously, I'm not even at 10% yet, so I still have a ton to do, but it's always nice to reach those like, oh, this is halfway across, you know. But yeah, my goal for this is to get to 10% by the end of the year. So I only have about 900 stitches, I believe, based on my calculations, to get to that point. So I think with just a couple of days, like 2 or 3 days, I should be able to get there. I'm gonna work on this today, probably tomorrow and Monday too. I'm going skiing tomorrow, so I won't be working on it as much, but yeah, it's weird to me because like when you go up, this is my first, like this and Warrior Kitty were my first like big full coverage pieces, so I didn't really know what I was doing. So this is stitched on 20 count Aida 2/1 full cross. I think if I had to do it again, I would either do it on 2/1 on an 18 count, or I would go to like 25 or 28 count and do the 1/1. I just didn't really know. I'm just kind of still figuring out what I like, what I don't like, what's working. I don't mind this, it's not bad, but it is a little kind of not super neat, I guess. But when you pull back away from it, like peeking through here. When you pull back away from it, it looks pretty good. So very happy with that. So hopefully next time you see this, it'll be at 10%. I don't know. Oops. And then I have 2 more whips. I did pull out Scenic Farm, and this is my Dimensions kit. So that's Scenic Farm. And I've been working, I started in the middle and I'm doing this like 1 page at a time. There's only 2 pages really. So I'm working on this side of the piece. And pardon me, this is where we're at today. So that's where we're at. So the last time I showed this, I don't think I had done any of the house actually, except for this white. This is going to be backstitched, so you'll be able to see this better, but that's actually snow-covered roof. So I did more of the house here. I finished up this whole wall over here and did this worked more in the house there. And I really like it. It's interesting. Looks better on camera than it does in person, honestly. Yeah, I worked on this a couple of days. Just quite a bit of like, I don't know, it's not really confetti. Like, it's not confetti like you would see in a Haid or, you know, other full coverage, but there's a lot of little stitches and, you know, random stitches and stuff everywhere in these kind of bricks. It's not too bad though. So I really love how this is coming out. This is just so nostalgic for me. It just really reminds me of New England, where I grew up. Yeah. I need to pull this one out more. I really, really do. Because I enjoy stitching on it. It's really not that bad of a stitch as far as like difficulty goes. It's just, I don't know why I don't pull it out as often as I do, or as often as I should say. So I'll have to pull that out. And then my last whip is, it's actually a new start. So let me just, I kind of loosened it up in the Q-snap just a bit, so it wasn't like pulling taut on the fabric, but I'll tighten it up a bit. So this is, I'll have to insert a picture of what it's supposed to look like. This is a long dog sampler. It's the pointed fifth. And this is being stitched on 28 count Jobelin in the color Ivory. And here we are. I love this so much. Love, 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 love it. I'm using the color 154. I have more of it because I can't do math apparently. So I have probably twice as much as I need, but what are you going to do? So I cannot express how much I love stitching on this. I was not anticipating liking stitching on a monochromatic piece as much as I am. And there's little it's hard to focus, but the little butterflies have a little back stitch in them. I am really enjoying this. I am doing this by page, so I'm just going to focus on one page, get that whole page done, and then move on to the next. Even if it's like there's just a few more stitches in this pig's nose. There's a couple more, but it's on the next page, so I'm not going to do it because otherwise I think I will get overwhelmed. I'm going to be pretty strict about that. Hopefully that works out okay, but that's what I'm going to do. So that's the pointed fifth. If you want to see this also being stitched, Pages and Stitches, she is stitching the pointed fifth. She started in the middle, and she is doing multiple different colors too. Hers is gorgeous. So I'll put a link to her channel below because yeah, it's beautiful. But I'm really, really digging this. Love this. And there's so many animals in this one. There's the dog, bunny, the whole thing is just, there's animals everywhere. And so of course I love it. So that is what I have for stitching. Let me just put this away really quick so I don't lose it. So that's what I have for the stitching. I think I got quite a bit done in the last few weeks, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. So I'm gonna just dive right into haul. I kind of did it again where I was like, I want to buy some kits. Why? No good reason. I just did. So I bought a couple of things. I did get 2 patterns. So I had gotten the Bella Filipina Deity of the Stars. And because I'm a completionist, I had to have the other two companion pieces. So I got Maori Deity of the Moon pattern. And then I also got, I don't know if it's Hanan or Hanan. It's a Deity of the Morning. So like these two are facing each other, and then the stars, Deity of the Stars, is facing forward. So I think they're all meant to go together. So I go back and forth on Bella Filipinas. I do like them. They are different than the they're beautiful, fancy ladies. I do think they're very different from the Mirabilias. They're more kind of like anime to me, which sometimes I dig and sometimes I don't, but I do really like these patterns, so I got them. I did get a couple dimensions kits. I got, what is this one called? Peacock Butterflies, and this is just a standard dimensions kit. So I've been eyeing this one for a while, honestly. I really like this one. I don't like butterflies in real life. They terrify me, because they're just like all over the place. You can't predict where they're going, and then they fly in your face and they scare me. But I do like butterflies in art, so I do think they're very pretty. I just don't like them in my general vicinity around my face. So don't take me to one of those like butterfly, what do they call those? Like those butterfly enclosures where you can go and like be, I've done that a couple of times, and it is not an enjoyable experience for me. They're beautiful. I fully appreciate them. They're great insects, but I do not like them near my face. So the other one I got, I have been eyeing this one for a while. It's called Maggie the Messmaker. This is a Dimensions Gold collection. Yeah, it's a kitty in a sewing room. It's got a cat, so of course I love it. And this one I think would really be nice to do actually for my mother. She is a big sewer, so if I do this piece, I mean, if at some point I'll do it, this would probably go to my mom. So, yeah. Unless she doesn't want it, then I'll keep it. I don't know. And then the last piece of haul I got was, oops, forgot to unzip this, is actually my first Amaryllis kit. I hadn't bought Amaryllis kits before, but I saw this one and I had to have it. It doesn't have a title, it just says cross stitch kit, but it's a Pomeranian. It's a Pomeranian. I had to, this is the best, like I've always, so I don't know that I've really mentioned this before, but I love Pomeranians. They are my favorite breed. They are just the cutest, fluffiest, biggest personality dogs that are, I just love them. They are absolute perfection. I mean, they're complete nightmares in like every sense of the word, but they're still perfection. I love them. We had a Pomeranian for years, and she's a horrible animal. Horrible, but I loved her so much, and she was just so cute, and she was so loyal, and every Pomeranian I meet is just, they're just amazing. They can be a little like, I get why people don't like Pomeranians. They have some negative qualities. They can be a little nippy, they can be a little barky, but they're such big personalities and such little bodies, and they are so loyal to their people. They usually only have like one or two people that they're really attached to, and they're incredibly loyal to them. And they're just so cute. They're so cute. So I love Poms. I will insert a picture of my Pom right here, Savannah. She actually passed away, I can't believe it, 3 years ago. Was we always joke because she passed away on December 31st, 2019. So we joke that she had some illnesses, so it wasn't a surprise. But we joke that she saw 2020 coming, and she was like, "I'm out, done." So, so yeah, so I love Pomeranians. And I know there's a few floss tubers out there that have Pomeranians, and I love it. Love it. So my only like immediate plans is, so I was going to start, I don't know what happened to time. It just seems to like be going really, really fast. So I was going to start winter on the winter solstice, which was December 21st. So that's winter from the Cricut collection. That did not happen because I was traveling and then work was a little crazy. So I just didn't have the time to prepare my everything. So I'm gonna work on getting everything, like get it finished kitting it up. I have everything. I just need to like finish pre-cutting the floss and all of that stuff. So I have to do that. And I'm going to get started on that before my next floss tube. And then my other plan is that so it is the end of the year and it's whip parade time. I did not prepare a whip parade just yet. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually film one on January 1st, just to start the new year with the whip parade. So that's that plan is what I'm going to do. So, okay. So I think that's it as far as the stitch. I say that's it. It's been 30 minutes already. I think that's it as far as the stitching goes. So if you are here for the stitching, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Definitely leave me a comment, say hi, hit the like button, do all of those fun things. And I will see you guys for my whip parade. I'm going to film it January 1st. So hopefully I'll be able to get it up that day, but if not, it'll be up on the 2nd. So I'll see you guys then. Bye. If you want to hang out for a little bit, I'm going to talk about Crater Lake. So Crater Lake was the final destination, was the final park that we went to on our big epic road trip back in August, September. And I will be perfectly honest with you, we did not spend a whole lot of time at Crater Lake. The reason being is that, first of all, we were pretty exhausted by that point. It just was, we had been on the road for 3 weeks at that point. So we were just kind of exhausted. The other reason is, there's the lake. And then there's some other things to see, but there's mostly the lake. And so it's mostly a driving park, especially if you're there to see the lake. There is some hiking there, but it's mostly driving. So we were able to see. The other problem is that we had been so lucky the entire trip that we were not affected by any kind of like smoke from forest fires until the very last day. So when we were at Crater Lake that morning, we had a couple of clear hours, like just like 2 hours where it was pretty clear. And then the smoke from some wildfires on the West Coast moved in. So it really, like, this is a park mostly for looking at the lake and scenic views. And when the smoke came in, we couldn't even see across the lake. So that was another reason we didn't spend much time there. It just was kind of like, all right, well, we can't really see anything. So let's get going. So Crater Lake, it's located in Southern Oregon, and it, like many of these parks, is in the middle of nowhere. Like, middle of nowhere. So my recommendation would be, if you are like, I really want to see Crater Lake, I would plan to also do Lassen Volcanic as well, and kind of get a twofer, because they're both in the middle of nowhere, and they're a few hours apart from each other. But there is nothing, absolutely nothing around Crater Lake. The park, so the lake is, it's a remnant of this large volcano called Mount Mazama, and it erupted like forever ago. And the lake is actually not a crater; it's actually a caldera, which is what's left behind after a volcano erupts. So, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, Lassen Volcanic isn't a caldera. Yellowstone is actually a caldera. It's the remnants of an exploded volcano. The park was established in 1902, which makes it the 5th oldest park, which I didn't realize. I did look some stuff up to give you guys some information. I didn't realize it was that that old. The lake itself is the deepest lake in the United States. I think it's the deepest lake in, I want to say, in North America. Yeah. But the lake itself is about 1,949 feet deep. The caldera itself from the rim down is about 4,000 feet deep. So it's a pretty big caldera. If you like, from the rim down to the bottom of the lake is about 4,000 feet. The park it sits at very high elevation. I did not realize when we got there how high of elevation it was sitting at. We were there middle of September. It sits anywhere between 7,000 to 8,000 feet, depending on where you are in the park. And we were there in September and it was cold. Like, it was cold and windy. Yet another reason we didn't stay for very long. It was just bitter cold. It was not the greatest weather for hiking or anything like that. So it sits at a pretty high elevation, and there's actually no inflow or outflow of the lake. The lake is just only filled by water from precipitation. So from snow and rain basically is what fills the lake. And that's why the lake is so clear and blue. It is beautiful, beautiful. When it's clear. Once the smoke moves in, it's like, all right. Yeah, the best way to see the lake is there's actually something called a rim drive, which is a drive that goes all the way around the perimeter of the lake. It's like, I should have looked this up. I want to say it's like 27 miles around. That sounds like a number that I read somewhere. If it's not, I'll put it in here. Don't quote me on that. So I'll insert it there. So that's the best way to see the park, is to do this rim drive, or see the lake, I should say. Now you can, you can get down to the lake. There is only one. They said there's only one legal way to get down to the lake, which several people said that, and I was like, how many illegal ways have people tried? I can't imagine it goes well. There's something called, it's the Cleetwood Cove Trail. It drops down, it's about a mile. The trail is about a mile from top to bottom. So it's about 2 miles round trip, but it drops like 600 or 700 feet in elevation within a mile, which is quite a bit. Especially when you're at 7,000 to 8,000 feet elevation. If you are not used to elevation, if you are coming from sea level and you all of a sudden go up to 7,000 feet elevation, you are going to notice it. Now for us, my husband and I live at about 4,000 feet elevation, so it's not as bad, but it definitely is quite the hike down. We were going to do it, but again, the weather was just not, it just wasn't comfortable. It was cold and bitter cold and windy, and yeah, so we decided to not do that. But you can get down to the lake that way, and then they actually have boat tours, and you can get on a boat and it'll take you to, there's an island in the middle of the lake. I mean, it's like the collapsed part of the volcano, but it's called Wizard Island, and they'll take you to the island. You can walk around the island and everything. So you can get down there, but that Cleetwood Cove Trail is the only access to the lake. Now, if you want to hike, there are a lot of trails. The park is much bigger than just the lake. So there are other hiking trails. There are other things to see. There's the, what are they called? The pumice desert. There's the pinnacles. There was like this, I couldn't find any information on this, but there was like this canyon, when we drove in, because we drove in from the south entrance, and you drive in along this canyon, and it is deep and steep. It is insane. So there are other things to see there. It's, the lake is beautiful. I would say if you want to see it, do it with less and volcanic, because there is other stuff to do other than just see the lake there, but not enough to like fill a whole week, to be honest with you. I'm glad that I saw it. I think that it was a pretty incredible thing to see. Is it a place I'm going to go back to? Probably not. But would I recommend people seeing it? Yeah, I do. I think it's pretty incredible. Ideally not during wildfire season. So anyway, yeah, so that's Crater Lake, and that's all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, comments, again, leave me a note, and I will see you guys in the new year. I hope you guys are all having a very, very happy, healthy holidays. And again, if you're back east or in the Midwest or South, please stay warm, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.